Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I've got a very special video. When I was looking into this whole YouTube channel to start my retirement journey, I started down the path of looking at only the financial aspect of it. And of course, the financial aspect of retirement is absolutely important. If you don't have that sorted, if that's not in the right configuration, it will make life very, very difficult. And as you know, I don't think we can all rely on Social Security when it's time to take it. So having a proper structure in your retirement profile is absolutely important. But let's say once you've kind of gotten beyond that and there's another aspect of retirement that's absolutely important, that is living retirement. I kind of equate it this way. Retirement is this point, it's like this milestone where you're jumping onto another lily pad. Now, you've been working probably 20, 30 years, maybe even longer. Your lily pad on the work side has been probably well established. But have you established the lily pad on the other side? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I have a wonderful guest, and I've been looking at trying to interview anybody who would talk to me about retirement and what their retirement journey looks like. And I had the wonderful opportunity to interview my father, who is now retired for the last 15 years. And the amount of wisdom that he's given me, the amount of information that he told me on this interview really helped me in my own concerns about retirement. I think many of you who are like me that are contemplating maybe making the jump are scared, and it's rightfully so. Once you make the transition into retirement, the concept of earning money now becomes spending money, and spending money becomes very, very hard, especially when there's no income coming through. We've been conditioned that way. But there's an aspect of retirement that I think we all need to be concerned by, and that is time. Time is money. And if you don't spend your time wisely, you will not be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Money's only good when you can actually spend it. So spend it in a time-wise manner that you can enjoy it. And that was the major takeaway in this interview with my dad. So buckle in, it's gonna be a great ride. I loved what my father had to say. It's just very practical advice. I really hope that you would stick around to the end of it. I do want to warn you, the quality of the video itself is pretty good, but there's a lot of herky-jerkiness to it just because I did it on my phone, and it was something we just decided to do yesterday when I was over visiting my father and my mother. But stay through it. It's got a lot of great information, a lot of golden nuggets in it that I think you could pluck out for yourself and just kind of execute for your own retirement journey. But also, I think if anybody who is interested to know what really retirement looks like, look at it through the lens of somebody who's doing it, not from somebody who's planning it for you. So with that, enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more great videos on my channel. Okay, hey everyone. So today I have a very special guest, my father, who is actually retired at 75. And I thought it'd be a great idea to kind of get some real world experience and ask my father, who has kind of been through it, what he thinks about what early retirement is like, retirement, or just being free in general. So with that, Dad, let me ask you this question. So just a basic one. You retired at 75 and 70, I'm sorry, 70. So that's a very kind of later age to retire. Typically the average retirement age is 65. So rather than just talk about the age, what is it that you may have done differently or thought through differently now that you've been through it a bit more? Would you have retired earlier, or would you have retired like you did? And had you retired earlier, what would you have done during those time periods?
I wish I had retired earlier than 70, simply because at the time I thought I need some money, but I didn't need that money that much. So if you can financially afford, you can retire earlier, and I think you should, and then you enjoy your life for the rest of the year,
So
remaining years.
right. So retire earlier. So do you think there's the concept in economics called marginal returns? Do you think the marginal return of working one more year is not worth the extra juice?
No, the financial problem is one thing, but your health problem is another. So you really have to consider your health first.
I see.
If you already retire and you can enjoy the life, let's say next to 30 years, then that's a different thing. But if you are not sure you can live for that long, then you may have to retire. You may want to retire
Retire
early
early.
so you can enjoy the rest of the life.
So, is there like a period in one's health life cycle where you actually start feeling like things are slowing down? Like for you, for example, you're very healthy, obviously. You look great. Was there like a period between 75 to 80 that you felt like, oh, wow, I'm really starting to slow down?
Yes.
What age was that?
Well, 70, 75, probably 75 is just about the peak of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And after 75, your health will condition declines gradually. You don't recognize it, but it gradually declines it. So you really have to consider that aspect of your health.
So that's like your physical mobility and dexterity, right? Your ability to move.
It just declines day by day.
I see. Okay, so that's very good information to have. So you're saying that you wanted to retire earlier and you should retire earlier. What would you have done in that period? Like what kind of things would you do?
I wish I had traveled a little uh, more after the retirement, but I postponed for a while, and that's something that I regret.
Okay, so you want, so your idea of a fulfilling retirement, freedom kind of period would be traveling around the world.
Traveling around the world, and so you
Mhm.
can see what you wanted to see.
I see.
But at the later age, if you want to see, you cannot see because your mobility is very limited
Mhm.
and you cannot travel freely.
So why did you choose to continue to work? Is it because of some kind of work pressure, some kind of feeling like you had to? Was it like comparing yourself to others?
I didn't think at the time, I didn't have any better idea. So I thought that I might as well stay on the job,
Something to do
something, yeah,
and get
at least
paid.
to keep me busy.
Hmm.
But that's something that I regret.
I see. So you should, what if you had a chance to redo it over again, at what age would you think you would have hung it up?
I will retire as early as 62.
62. Okay. And naturally, if you have the wherewithal to do that, right? Having the money to do that.
Then I could travel with my wife because the time I spend with my wife at home is different from what I spend the time with my wife
Outside.
outside.
I see. So there's this concept when you talk to like financial planners and even like retirement specialists, you have, in my mind, you have to set it up. So setting up means like finding the activities that you enjoy to do, start doing them routinely, so that when you finally decide you're going to retire, that transition becomes easier. So what kinds of things would you recommend on how to set things up, even if it's a financial thing? It's like for me, setting up means setting up a tax situation that's beneficial to myself, or to find healthcare that's cheaper. So in your case, what would have been that you would have done? How would you have set up your retirement structure better? Or not even better, how would you have structured it?
I wouldn't change my retirement plan I set up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I didn't do anything better, but I didn't do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But just about the best I could do.
Best you could do.
And then I do not regret.
Right. You don't regret any of the choices you made.
No, but I thought financially I may have some difficulty after the retirement if I retire earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case. You really have to worry about now, not the 5 year, 10 years down the road, because nobody knows what will happen. You could have some fortune or you could lose the fortune.
Sure. So that, let me ask you about that question. So in your mind, you felt like you didn't have enough money, but looking back in hindsight, you had enough money,
I
right?
had enough money, but uh, at the time I should have retired, but I didn't.
Okay.
And that's the part I regret.
I see. That's really good advice. So, um, in terms of like Social Security and things like that, what would you recommend to people that are asking, should I wait till 65 to get full benefits? Or should you take it earlier as soon as you can, if that only is supplemental to your retirement income?
I think Social Security benefit should be considered as a supplemental income i- because so that is a guaranteed amount, but your main source of income.
So do you think you should take Social Security earlier or later or up to the maximum amount?
Well, I would retire earlier if I have some other source of income besides Social Security income. Then I will take early retirement.
Mhm.
But if I have only one source of income, Social Security income, which is the main source, then I would retire a little later.
Mhm.
Yes, early retirement would reduce the amount of benefit
Mhm.
income, and that will last forever.
I see. So the other thing also is we're sitting here in beautiful New England, Fairfield County, Connecticut, where, as you know, it's a really a suburb of New York City and property taxes are very high. Would you have considered maybe after both my sister and I left the home, did you ever consider selling the home and moving somewhere else, even to another country?
No, no, no. Uh,
Why is that?
I would reduce the size of the house,
Mm-hmm.
but I would not sell the house. I mean, totally sell the house and leave an apartment to come. If there is one substitute like a condominium or
Mm-hmm.
apartment, then I will sell the house because
So you never considered moving to Florida,
not to other
another
locations. No,
place? I see. Okay.
that was my personal uh, what do you call circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But many people will just retire in a sort Florida or some other locations, Arizona.
Right.
I wouldn't. I have lived in those places too.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of activities do you do every day? Like what is your day like? Like tomorrow, what are you gonna do?
I do exercise
Okay.
which takes me about 3 hours
Wow.
in and out, and then 1 hour exercise, and then lead time traveling and so on. So it takes about 2.5 hours to 3 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then read some news items on the internet, and then take a nap,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I do.
Sounds
That's
like a cat.
why I do this one because physically I cannot travel.
Right.
If I can travel, I would rather take uh, trips
Somewhere.
or somewhere else,
Right.
cruises or the land travel,
Right.
and
So hence your advice to
I
travel.
would not stay home.
Gotcha.
But physically, I cannot travel
Right,
uh,
because you're
for many days or many weeks, so that's why I stay home.
I say. Okay. So advice to younger people is to travel. Let
Right, exactly. When you can, when your body is moving so freely,
travel.
travel.
Okay. So, Daddy, I'm 56 almost. And if you were to tell someone like, say, for example, my son, who's a teenager, what would you tell him that he should be doing to set up his life properly? Forget about a career necessarily. I don't think work should define you. For some people, it is, unless you love your work that is so, personal to you. But what would you tell somebody younger how to set up a prosperous and successful lifestyle so that they can properly retire?
Well, they have a they may have a different life plan, but if I were at his age, I would rather do what I like to do, and I do the best.
I see. So
But
regardless of how much money you made, right?
I would, the money comes after, so I would not worry about how to make money. I would rather do how I can do what I do best.
Hmm. So just be the best at whatever,
Right.
right?
So worry about the money later,
Hmm.
but that's not my priority at my age. If I'm in teens or 20s.
Hmm. And if you were to give any form of investment advice that made you, for example, to where you were? What investment advice would you give to somebody young?
Well, I think it depends on the how young you are and how what uh, stage of your life is.
Hmm.
When you're young, you just invest on the stocks that you want to invest for the future, like that the company will just last next
$200 years,
next
a long
20
time.
years or a
Hmm.
long time. Then I would rather invest and keep it. I would not change around.
Buy and hold.
Uh,
Okay.
Buy home, yes.
Would you recommend individual stocks or like mutual funds or indices, things like that?
No, not mutual fund. Unless I am in that area, money management area, I would not invest in money market funds or the funds management. No, I would not do that.
Okay.
I'd rather invest in the fixed, either stock
Uh-huh.
or bonds.
Gotcha. So anything like kind of like an income stream.
Yeah, but just stay there. I would not do this
Yes.
frequent transaction,
Buy and hold.
buy and sell,
Yeah.
buy
Or
and
buy.
sell kind of things.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Have you ever thought about trying to live in another country?
No.
No, never. Okay. And then what about healthcare in general? Do you find that um, your healthcare and insurance are covering what you need, or are you feeling like you're in trouble?
So I was exceptionally benefited from the company that I worked for.
Right.
The company took care of most of the health problems
Hmm.
and also Medicare uh, administration really also to provide the basic the insurance.
Hmm.
So I never had any problem with the insurance that I had.
I see. What do you think about people though that continue to grind it out till 65? Like, what do you think is going on there? Is it I mean, everybody's different, but is it some kind of insecurity that they need to get Social Security? That you think, do they like to work necessarily, or they don't have enough saved? What do you think the phenomena is?
Well, if there is a demand on your skills, after 65, still you're
You're young.
young, so
Yeah.
you can do as a part-time. But don't forget that your life is not always young.
Right.
So you really have to enjoy, do whatever you want to do. So don't wait and then later regret.
Hmm.
Do it now
When you can.
can.
Gotcha. Tell me about long-term care and also health, like life insurance, because right now, and I'll give you an example. My financial planner is trying to sell me what's called an index universal life policy. All it is it just uses the S&P 500 as a basis for returns, as its benchmark. But what I noticed about insurance is that if you don't make the premiums, you lose your cash value, the surrender value.
Mm.
So tell me, do you think insurance is a good thing to have, or is maybe doing something with a Wall Street product better?
I would rather use that money into another investment firm, not the universal life.
Mm-hmm.
Universal life has a fixed amount of insurance that you get when you die.
Right.
But if you invest that kind of money, uh, if you want to invest that kind of money, not in the universal life, just invest in the stock or some other way of earning money, the return probably is a lot higher than the proceed that you get when you die on universal life.
My personal feeling is a Roth is better, but what do you think? Do you think that there's some value in the tax advantage nature of the thing?
The universal life, when you die, the payment payout is not taxable.
Right. It goes to your beneficiaries.
However, if you cancel the universal life, the gain you get from the universal life investment, the difference between
Mm-hmm.
your principal and payment is taxable unless you reinvest into another form of tax
Interesting.
deferred.
Okay. Interesting. So it's always going to remain tax deferred.
However, if you look at the universal life return, it's not that great as compared to another form of investment like annuities.
Okay, you think an annuity is better?
Annuities probably is better because it has a set limit of number of years, 5 years, and so on.
Hmm.
The annuity also there's a payout.
Interesting. So what I always found kind of strange about this stuff, the insurance stuff, is the fees and expenses. It doesn't seem like it's very transparent. Has that been your experience? Like, do you know where your fees are, what they are?
It is transparent to me, but it is not transparent because the surrender value really is the one that I think that's the value that you you
You get
pay. That's your cost.
the
But
surrender value is your cost. Can you explain that?
the value minus the commission, the surrender value is really the discounted investment.
Okay.
If you have, let's say today, $100,000 invested,
Yeah.
the surrender value next year, let's say, is only 80,000.
So you pay $20,000 in.
Already they took as a
Interesting. So that's the true expenses.
as an
Interesting.
expense.
So that's how you calculate
I
expenses.
think it is. I'm not positive, but I think it is. That's why they have a surrender value.
Okay. So a lot of people on the internet say that IULs, that's what they're called, are terrible because they're not structured properly, meaning that the life insurance agent put too much in the long-term death benefit as opposed to the cash value. So if an insurance agent puts more emphasis on cash value, does that imply that he makes less commission?
I don't know. I'm not quite familiar,
Okay.
but I can say that if I have a choice between annuity investment versus, let's say,
Life insurance?
a life,
Mm-hmm.
I would choose annuity.
Okay. How about annuity versus stock or mutual fund?
Well, the stock is unpredictable.
Okay.
Annuity is predictable.
So guaranteed income.
Yeah.
Do you think you should have both or one or the other?
If you have enough fun, if you enough money, I would split
Okay.
annuity and stock.
So a form of diversification, right? Okay. All right, that's really useful because it doesn't seem to me that there's enough information on what these policies do until it's too late. And I've seen too many comments from people saying that they wish they got out earlier, but it's too late for them. So for anybody who's watching, that's good information because naturally, if you make a bad decision, it's bad consequences.
Yeah, sure. Everything.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take that as a negatory on the insurance policy.
Yeah. When you're young, if you think about insurance, life insurance, I would use term life insurance.
Right, because
Because
according
the premium is very low,
hmm
and you do not have an upfront investment
right,
payment.
right.
But whereas universal life, you have a upfront investment money quite a bit.
Gotcha. Have you thought anything about long-term care? Like,
Ye- Yes, I think if the premium is so high, I would not really have a long-term care. I'd rather invest that money in some other places and then use it for long-term care from my own
so
fund,
self-insured. Right.
self-insurance.
Gotcha. It seems like a lot of people I've seen on this topic have done that. And even myself, I think I'm planning love
Yeah.
self-insuring. Do you think there's a burden on your family if you do that?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you're healthy, so.
But again, it depends on the health condition of the yourself or your spouse or
Mhm.
whoever.
hmm
That's the thing.
Tell everybody again how old you are, Dad.
89.
Wow, that's amazing. So there's a statistic I saw yesterday saying that a 78-year-old man on average has 8 more years left to live. Do you think these statistics on actuarial statistics about age are correct? Do you think, for example, you're 89, of your friends that you have known throughout your life, how many of them are around to this date?
I have a senior club where there are about half dozen people still healthy who are eight, between 85 and 89.
Unbelievable. And they're all Asian,
They're
Koreans?
all Asians.
Okay.
They're all Koreans.
And do you see that the norm now with better healthcare and better medicine, or is that just a phenomena of,
I think medical benefits is the contributor.
I see. How many of your friends that you know of have passed away? And at what age did they mainly pass away at?
They are all 85 and above. They passed away this year. I friend of about four of my friends passed away this year.
This year alone. And how old were they?
They were one person was in 92,
Mhm.
93,
Wow.
and the other person is 89.
Wow.
And who else?
So I should expect to live probably till 90, like you.
Yeah, I think you can expect the on average span is about 87.
Okay. That's what I would imagine too.
Yeah, unless you have a chronic some
Condition.
condition.
Right. So let me ask a different question now. The question of legacy. Do you think, and not specific to, Vivian or I, my sister, but do you believe leaving money as an inheritance to children or grandchildren is a good thing, or would you recommend spending all your money to what's called dying with zero?
It is not a bad thing, but I wouldn't say it is a good thing either.
To leave money to your heirs.
For money for I would rather spend when I can spend that money for all of the family members.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather do that.
I see.
And then enough to support my life
Gotcha.
after retirement.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not try to leave more money for my children. I would not recommend that.
Okay. There's a lot of discussion. I agree with you. I don't think leaving money to heirs is a good idea or beneficiaries. But I think the most important thing is to die with nothing left over. Do you think, is that more of a philosophical thing, decision-making criteria, or is that a tax-oriented decision? In other words, probate and all
I
that.
think it is more practical
Practical? Okay.
because some people are trying to save money for the children's sake.
Right.
And then to save money, they don't spend it, but they should spend money
Okay.
for themselves instead
Right.
of worrying about the children.
Right.
Children, they have their own life.
Yes. Yes. And I agree. If you've done a good job as a parent, presumably they will make good choices and they should be on their own to do
Exactly.
this. Okay.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay. That's good information because I think there are a lot of people out there thinking about leaving legacy, which I don't think is a good idea.
But
Okay.
trying to save money in order to uh, transfer the money to the children is not a good idea. It's not.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So I guess,
We have sacrificed
right.
most of our lives enough already.
Yeah.
For children.
So I guess I'm not going to get inheritance. But okay, well, that's really useful. But so, yeah, we touched a lot of topics, insurance, which I find to be kind of personally, not a big fan of it, but I think you need it. And
Again, it is one person's opinion,
mhm,
so that's not that may not be common to most of the people.
right. I want to ask you a different topic here completely. So, in your financial journey and the plan that you made for yourself in your freedom years, is what I call it, were there any expenses that you just completely didn't expect to have happened? And then, um, what were they?
No, I didn't anticipate it.
So, you never had any weird expenses come up?
No, I
Okay.
didn't anticipate it, and I didn't expect them. It didn't occur.
Okay. So nowadays with AI and the internet, I mean, these things have been around forever, but scams have gotten infinitely more sophisticated to the point where with AI, you can replicate someone's voice and face, and you would have no clue that that was the real person or not. Do you feel as an elderly person that you're targeted more for more scams? And conversely, do you find vendors like maybe your electrician or your plumber coming over here to try and take advantage of you? Do you see that happening?
Yes,
You do.
and to a degree, but not all the time. Really, we have to be smart.
Hmm.
If I'm not smart, I might be taken so many times. Yes,
So maybe give an example, like what kinds of things do they try to do? Do they raise the price on you
yes, they
or
do.
try to,
They that's the thing. They inflate the price and try to convince me to buy it, buy
anybody,
the ideas. Really.
are these are just regular products, whether plumbing, electrical,
Right.
financial? Okay.
The
Any product.
cost is normally inflated. If I'm not careful enough, they will charge you, let's say, $100 instead of $50.
And these are just vendors that you've worked with in the past, or they're just like somebody you just
That
call up?
happened in the past, yes.
Okay. Nobody trying to sell you water purifiers or water treatment? Told you about that story.
So
Yeah.
I know what I want to do, so I wouldn't buy any of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, I find that to be a very big problem because I've seen instances where, because you're on a fixed income, right? You're not going to spend like somebody who has making money. And in some cases, maintenance of a home is very high, but you can't spend for it. And I've seen many situations where elderly get taken advantage of, and then it's a little sad that that continues to happen. I wish there were laws around that, but I'm glad it didn't really happen to you. But I just fear that that's a common occurrence, and it'd be good to even know more about what those things are because it's really terrible.
The cost, the scam on elderly people also occurs in a certain place, not all over the places.
Right.
In the place I live here in Connecticut, we do not see that many instances. Yes, but I do read some of the local newspapers that there are some scams
Hmm.
going on, but very rarely.
Gotcha.
It
Oh,
depends on the location. It's
right.
the New York City may be different, or New Jersey may be different, but Connecticut also is different too. But
Okay.
in the area I live in Connecticut, we don't see that often.
Interesting. Yeah, so even myself, I've been kind of victim to some of these things. It's really
Try to sell things that are not
necessary.
absolutely necessary.
Yeah, I mean, it is idea of commerce. It's just a little unscrupulous and immoral, unethical, I would say. I mean, everybody needs to sell a product, but you can't sell things to people they don't need and then try and convince them because they don't know. And that I don't like people.
Yeah, I still think that still it is up to the customer or the yeah, client
Hmm.
who will decide to buy or not to buy.
Hmm.
So really, customer or the client should be smart enough, not knowledgeable
Mm.
and informed.
As much as possible. Yeah, well, good thing there's the internet. How about expenses? Like at the beginning of your retirement arc, I'm sure you spent a lot, like you said, you did travel, but what have you noticed that are expenses that have come down for you a lot, that they've been completely replaced, and whether some expenses have just will not come down at all? They just, in fact, maybe even rise.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have like is your insurance less now?
Oh, the insurance, yes, insurance almost went up by 30%.
Yeah,
The auto insurance and also house insurance went up quite a bit.
yeah.
And
Now,
I cannot really cancel the insurance
yes.
because
Yeah, I think every American's
it's
undergoing
a
that.
mandatory.
Yeah, that's what I really don't like. It's like a tax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but are there things that you just are happy you have gotten rid of? Certain kind of recurring expenses
Well, I,
besides your children?
yes, yes.
Okay, so that's one recurring expense. But what other things do you think? Like, is your gas price high, your electrical? Do you get some kind of advantage as an elderly person?
No,
No? Do you get no kind of property tax easement or anything like that?
I have learned quite a bit throughout the years that you really have to be a jack of all trade if you own a house. You really have to fix some of the things yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how you should know how to do it.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, it will cost you a lot, and also you can be scammed,
Yep.
and then the expenses can be quite a bit
Right.
higher than what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to know how to
To do things.
figure things out and solve some of the problems yourself.
Right.
I did most of the repairs myself.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been always kind of
And
very
also
handy.
I have to know what the problem is.
Right.
To some of the when you bring the car to the service stations or the shop for repair, they says the car broke, but I don't know what's wrong with it.
Hmm.
That is a recipe for inflated.
Yes, that statement alone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cars are so complicated with all the computer components. They're not
The
mechanical anymore.
car isn't one example.
Sure.
You really have to know when you call someone for service,
Mhm.
you have to know what the problem is exactly.
Before you, I see what you're saying. Identify what the problem is. If you can't fix it, then call the expert. Gotcha. Even I mentioned the other day I had to paint the front porch of our house. I got quoted something like $7,000 to do that. I did it myself. Took a week. It's nice, but I saved $7,000 with the exception of,
That's right.
costs,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Some of the things it can cost you $1,000, but if you fix it yourself, if you can fix it yourself, you may save $1,000.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. Okay. Well, Dad, again, thanks for, I'm glad I had to take another thing, but I really appreciate this information. It's very hard to get information from people who have gone through it. And it's a little unfortunate that maybe younger people don't at least listen to this kind of stuff because eventually it'll be too late. Time is the thing. It's sort of like, what I kind of equate it to? If you had a Coke bottle and you took and you had an empty Coke bottle, right? And you put the water, and it's got water in it, try to put all the water so that it flows down to the other side. Sometimes if you don't align it correctly, the water is going to spill out.
Right.
Yeah, and then at the end, when you had a full bottle, you don't have a full in the bottle. Yeah, so you got to really line up that stuff correctly, because if not, all that water leaks out, and that water is time. And for me, I'm kind of unfortunate because the one lesson I did learn is just invest early. I like index funds, but also read books. Millionaire Mind is what helped me. Also, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But no, Dad, I think you did a great job.
I told Mom when Chris was born, and I said, I wish I could live to see him going to college.
Oh, that'll happen. 2 more years.
And now we are around that
That time.
time.
Mm-hmm.
So now my desires, I wish I could live long enough to see him graduating
From college and maybe get married. Yeah.
and getting married.
Well,
So the human
yeah,
desire,
it's always there. Well, I would say that's got to be very fulfilling for you, right? To see
Yes.
that entire
I think
life
I have
cycle.
lived long enough to.
Mm-hmm.
I am thankful. I really always at night I thank to God.
That's great. No regrets.
He gave me this long time, the health
Mm-hmm.
and also wealth
Mm-hmm.
and also all
What
other benefits.
Right. What a blessing. Many people can't say what you say. That they cannot say that. Even it doesn't even matter. The wealthy can't say that.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I don't think money is really that important. You need money, but
That's right.
there's a certain point where it becomes really a game. It's funny money.
But in the later years of your life, what is most important is your health. Without health,
Mhm.
the money is worthless.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Because you're spending at that point, you're going to spend all your money for your health.
And also, it doesn't do much good.
No, it doesn't do anything. It just sits there. It's like a diamond.
So you really have to pay your attention to your health day in, day out. And also, I always thank, offer my thanks to God.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they call it, count your blessing
Count your blessings, right? Count your blessings every day then.
every day.
That's great. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to call it a day here.